Now we pivot to some personal questions, I guess. What would you do with your life if you knew you couldn't fail? Yeah, that made him pause for a second. Right?
That's going to be a long pause.
Yeah, no,
I don't know, I like what I do.
So what's up, people? I'm out here trying something new, more of this type of content because, you know, a lot of people want to call themselves entrepreneurs, but we're out here building stuff. We're actually doing it instead of just creating a bunch of logos. So it's like, why not have conversations about that on maybe something we can learn, something Liam could share? Because I know you now for like, what, 2 years at least? One? Don't tell me it's one
even,
only.
Yeah, 9 months.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Moved in September.
Impossible. It feels longer.
No.
Okay.
One Berlin winter.
That's why it feels like two. I'm happy that you made the time for us to make this possible today. It's just like, let's talk about stuff. What do you wish you knew? What do you wish people shared in the beginning, or things that you've learned, etc., etc.?
Thank you for having me, mate. What do you want to talk about? Do you want to learn about the business, what I do?
Yes, let's talk about entrepreneurship. Let's start with your business. Let's start with what you do. Tell us about that. How is it working? What is the business model? How did you come up with the idea? Things like that. Feel free to elaborate.
Yeah, so it all started when I was studying product design at university.
Right.
And so it's very hands-on, physical devices that you're prototyping and testing. And my project was looking at alternatives to medication for children with ADHD.
Right.
And that was based off my brother's experience of ADHD growing up, and his the impact that medication had on him and the way he disliked taking it.
Right.
And that was just quite interesting to me. So I started looking into the area, spoke to several families who were going through similar experiences, and they didn't want to medicate their child straight away without exploring other options.
Right.
And as someone at the time who was quite into meditation, I thought, well, why wasn't this something we were taught as children when we were younger? And so I started diving into different prototypes, different ideas, different concepts, and came up with a very early concept of what Stix remotes are today, which are essentially 2 handheld devices with speakers, lights, and vibrations built into them. And they guide children through screen-free mindfulness exercises.
Okay.
So normally you put a phone in front of a child with Headspace or Calm, something like that, or a YouTube video to help them do some deep breathing.
But it's still limited to just the iPad that they know and they use for a lot of different reasons, right?
Exactly. So they could jump to Fortnite or to...
Easily. Swipe up, different tab.
Exactly.
Right, okay.
Whereas this is a handheld device that gives interactive and guided feedback with the push of a button. It makes it more fun and interactive and actually engaging for children.
Yeah, we got to pass the mics for now. Low budget. One thing that I think about a lot is people underestimate how big it is to go from idea to actual, especially a physical product, right? It's so easy for you to keep thinking of all these ideas, but then maybe it's not as clear for some people how to go about it. If you could break it down, how do you easily go from idea to physical product? What are the steps?
No, to be honest, I didn't have a clue what the steps were. And when I started my first job after graduating, I wanted to create this idea into a business, but I didn't know where to start.
Right.
And then one day I got an email from what's called an accelerator program, who focus on hardware and hardware businesses. And they said, you should apply, you just need a team, so come along and pitch it on the day. So in order to have a team, I asked the person who was closest to me at the time was my dad.
Right.
He came and pitched it with me, we got into the program, and that was essentially 6 months of them providing business support and also product development support to actually turn what was a post-it note idea essentially into a
physical product.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is a big step.
Yeah, and I mean that involved loads of different prototyping stages. It actually involved scrapping the idea and starting from the beginning.
Right.
So we could re-challenge every assumption that we had to actually make sure that it was a viable business as well as a viable product. And that journey was customer focused. That led into product and further development.
One cool thing about you, which I saw a LinkedIn post, you obviously work with your dad. And I know a lot of people that will say, don't mix family and business. It depends. I mean, from where I'm from, don't do that for sure. No, but then the question would be, How is that relationship like?
Yeah, I mean, I was living at home at the start of it, and
Right.
we had COVID, obviously, so we were around each other all the time, so that could be quite full on when you're working on a business and then sitting down for dinner together and then you're still talking about the same thing. But no, it's been the best 4 years. It's an experience that not everyone gets the opportunity to have.
That's true.
And our skill sets are completely different, so we don't step on each other's toes, but we do help each other out with experience and challenges for each other's type of work as well.
Okay. Now we pivot to some personal questions, I guess. What would you do with your life if you knew you couldn't fail? Yeah, that made him pause for a second. Right?
That's going to be a long pause. I don't know, I like what I do right now, to be honest.
Yeah, take it. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I like what I do right now, so I mean, I wouldn't really change that. And if I'm not going to fail, then that only means I'm going to be helping children as well. So
Okay, that's a good answer. Okay.
go and buy Stix.
Let me ask you, another question. For example, what do you sacrifice the most in order to make your dreams come true? These questions are making him scratch his non-existent beard now because he shaved it, but you know what I mean?
I can't grow a beard.
Yeah.
To be quite honest, something like traveling the world, it was something I always wanted to do straight after uni, and I always told myself, do this before you do anything else. Go and see the world, because you will get a job and you'll get stuck in a
Right.
career, and then you'll eventually have a family. And that happened. I didn't have a family, but I got stuck in what I'm doing, which I love, but I haven't had that opportunity to go and explore, which I really want to do. So
Just yet.
that will come next.
Yes, that will come next. Okay, I got you. Yeah, you're right. Thanks for passing me the mic. What do you wish you knew at the beginning of this journey?
I would say how important it is to fail.
Right.
And that is really important, because you're never going to have the answer straight away. And at the start, I was probably very worried about failing and putting myself out there. Whereas now I'm doing things like this and videos that I dislike doing, but I know that it's going to drive attention towards the business.
Right.
And whether they don't work at the start and we have to pivot and change something up, it's all about trialing and failing. And so that's something I wish I did earlier to get more recognition on the business.
Before doing this, did you see failing as something negative?
Yeah,
Right.
100%. You'd look at
Yeah, you looked at it like, oh hell no, I'm not supposed to fail.
Yeah, I wouldn't put my hand up in lectures and things like that, because if I got the answer wrong, I felt like I'd be an idiot or something like that. Whereas now, if I had put my hands up, I would have been told the answer's wrong, and then you learn from that. But if you don't ask the question, then you don't find out the answer.
Right. Okay. That's a good answer. I can use that soundbite. I ain't gonna lie, this view is kind of nice too. It kind of looks like a different setting. Imagine like you had a proper setting here. It could be something, you know what I mean? And by the way, I'm gonna share this. You can share that too. That's another thing for Stix. Stix for the win. Go buy Stix. Don't play with my sticks though. Oh yeah, the birds are joining. I'm not gonna lie. I'm happy you made this possible today, bro. I'm not gonna lie. This is the first of its kind, bro. Any final words of advice for anyone starting their journey in entrepreneurship?
Yeah, I would say if you have a great idea in your head, that's an idea in your head, and no one else can hear it or see it. Go out there and try it. See if it lands. No one's going to copy you straight away. It's people copy people that are successful.
Right.
So get it out there and make it successful first, and then make people copy you, rather than being scared to let out your idea at all.
But are you afraid of people copying Stix?
Not anymore. We got granted our patent last week, so we're officially protected.
Big news.
Come at us.
Nah. All right. That's great, bro. Yeah. All right. Well, with that being said, I'm gonna close this round up. Wait, let's get like a good thumbnail. Oh yeah. Wait, yeah. Yeah. All right, people, I want to thank you for watching this. I'm just hoping that with all of this, these conversations can especially help you out with something. We're gonna touch a bunch of different topics. So I've been Gillord.
I've been Liam.
And this has been On the Roof, on the way to like going up, I guess. Oh, yeah, let me just point in that direction. All right, I'll see ya.